Yo.
I was like, where the fuck is Tobi needs to do some dancing.
Yo. All right. People, what's up? What's up? It's another edition of Geektastic Cypher here on Free Agents Media.
Actually, I want to change my name to AKA Young Grogu.
Grogu. What do you guys think? We're starting. What do you guys think of that name after all the Baby Yoda references?
I fucking love it. That sounds like yogurt.
I think it's a crap name.
Yeah, that's great. I love it.
Wait, he thinks it's a crap name though.
Yeah, I hate it. I think it's stupid.
What do you think his name should have been? Knowing we just had a character called Yoda, Obi-Wan. I
have no clue what the name should have been, but from a marketing perspective, Grogu doesn't roll off the tongue as smoothly as the other names.
Sounds like a baby yogurt. Grogu. I like it.
Yeah. The thing is, the character's not supposed to be a baby forever, so giving them a name that makes sense for the baby presentation doesn't add up for when they're an adult.
Like, is a character actually even supposed to be? Do you think this character was supposed to be the main mission for the next 6 seasons?
Not 6 seasons. Why? No, I think
because he has to get him to this. Okay, I guess we're jumping right into it. So
hold on, because we're skipping a lot of stuff. Happy birthday to Michelle Franklin. It's her birthday.
Sorry, I didn't even do that.
Standing friend. No, it's okay. It's just I don't want to skip people because we should shout outs.
We could have gone back to it.
I mean, we're going to talk about the Mandalorian in a huge part of the show, so we can go back to it. It's not going anywhere.
Happy birthday, Ms. Franklin. Happy birthday.
She's been supporting the show since day one. I want to give her flowers, show respect. Awesome writers, been doing great things, been in Cult MTL numerous times in the top 10. So I just wanted to shout her out. I guess, I don't know, Dave, if you wanted to talk about stuff in Quebec that you would talk about.
I don't even know if I'm about that. All I'm going to say is Quebec is get your priorities straight. Specifically, like Legault, figure shit out because there's a pandemic going on and they're trying to give people fines for freaking instead of putting takeout, you're supposed to say emporter. I think it's the language police is not in a pandemic. The language police should be put on the bench. Is all I'm going to say. So for any of the listeners out there, one thing in Quebec is that although we are supposed to be a bilingual province.
Actually, we're a French province. New Brunswick is a bilingual province. Quebec is a French province.
So we're a French province, and there's these police that are actually designed to go to stores to make sure that French is a prominent language that is there. If you have something written in both languages, being English and French, you have to have it the French has to be bigger than the English just to show both, in my opinion.
You know what this reminds me of? What? I've been watching a lot of so I finally got into Sons of Anarchy, right?
Oh, really? Sweet.
And I'm 3 seasons in, but this reminds me of them going to they are about their town. Their town is called Charming. Everyone in the town loves having the protection of the Sons of Anarchy, but what everybody pays to the Sons of Anarchy is a vig. Every month they pay a monthly fee in order to be able to maintain the protection of their business. Whatever QLF, whatever their acronym is, literally sounds exactly like this. Right. If you don't do this, we will fine you. We want some money from you. You know what I mean? It's a straight up mob mentality.
It is. It really is. But the sad thing about it is the fact that someone is going over a priority and going to businesses, let's be honest, a lot of businesses that are suffering are the restaurant businesses, and you're potentially threatening them to say, this is a bad time in the world and there's all this thing and you guys aren't making ends meet, but hey, c'est emporté. It's not, hey, it's allo ici d'abord. Change that. And I'm like, this is stupid. This is stupid. I mean, and there's no priorities. And on top of the fact,
I'm with Skinny. It's like, what do you expect?
They gotta do something right, man. There's what?
Welcome to oppression.
Yeah, I mean, they're not like I hear everything you're saying, Dave, but at the end of the day, like they're not gonna change. They don't feel they owe it to anybody. Also, welcome to oppression. Again, this is one of those pendulum swings. If you read the history of how poorly the French were treated, it's not a shock to me that they spent the next 70 years being like, fuck all of you, and then just pushing everything down. It is not a shock to me. If imagine a world where like in the States, if the black population outnumbered everyone else at the end of slavery. So you have the end of slavery, there are more black people, and they just realize, you know what? We're taking over. And they just took over and started to oppress and started to make sure that, like, African-American vernacular became the spoken and all those things. Then it'd be like, holy shit. But it's like, well, that's what happens when you oppress someone for X amount of years. When it swings back, they come into effect and they say, yo, screw you.
Yeah, and also to add, Dave, I mean, a lot of the businesses are suffering, and then they're going to come in and hit you with, like, the language laws from OQLF. Of course, because then when you can't pay that fine and then you go out of business, who comes in but Guillaume with his French business and like bong bong. It's actually super genius if you think about it.
I've been telling people since Jump that this was the guy that helped write the Bill 101 and all that stuff was like a psych major or something who analyzed how it would affect society and culture if you started to do certain things. Everything you're saying I agree with, but like, how would you ask us to change it? Like, what is the thing that we can do to change it?
I'm just saying, can't we all get along already? Like, isn't it about time that people get like?
Wait, has David living in 2020? Because ain't nobody get along. Dave.
I know. I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of 2020. I'm officially done.
2020, my G. It's like last 200 years, bro.
Yeah.
I'm done with all of it. I'm done with the concept of inequality and all these stupid things that people are doing.
Yeah, man, me too.
The only thing that sucks is that people look at me and they're like, oh, but you're white, so yeah. And you're like, no, I get the problem. I don't like it.
I mean, hey, man, we appreciate your allyship. I think that's one of the most important things. Like, you get it. And if you can't change the situation where you are, you can help change some of the other situations. So, by being here and us continuing these conversations about geek stuff and having fun and talking about how stupid geeks are, like the Star Wars geeks, then that's what we do. Like, my thing this week
Go for it.
My thing this week is, if you are a Star Wars fan and you saw Ahsoka on Mandalorian,
you can't be mad
you're
at that.
complaining about the head, like the Leku and the Montrals, and you're saying they weren't the right lengths and the disrespect that this means to the fans and all this stuff, fuck you, all of you. Anyone who's out there calling the creators and the writers and all the people who work on this show and the actress and saying that they're not real fans, that they don't know what they're doing, that they don't care about the lore, all this weird shit that I'm reading where you guys are disrespecting people who are doing a hard-working job and come out here and produce a show so that you can watch it because the Montrals weren't long and the Leku did. Oh my God, reading it, I was just like, these are possibly some of the most ignorant, disrespectful fans I've ever seen, and you guys are just a waste of everyone's time.
But this is part of the course for today, man. Everything, every little argument or everything has to be up for like debate.
You're right.
It's a weird thing. Like, it can't just be like, wow, this thing I used to watch as an animated character has now come to life, and it's actually portrayed well by the actress. The mannerisms, the way that she speaks, the fighting, everything was on point. They just have to find something, and I just don't understand how it makes it. It sucks for me as a fan of things now. Yeah. Like, I can't enjoy something anymore because I've been, since I was a kid, wanting to watch these things come to life. and seeing them come to life, I'm excited just for that. Now we can critique or criticize the costume, like as a whole, or the acting as a whole.
Yeah.
But when it's like 99% perfect, and you still want to find the fact that the hair, I'm just gonna call it a hair for anyone who's a layman at this point, that the hair is not long enough.
Right?
What?
Like, you won't get a haircut. What's the problem?
Well, okay, so here's the thing.
On top of that, well, just one thing.
Well, it's just because it's not a haircut.
Yeah, it's not hair. I just
I know.
it's
like a body. It's like
it signifies age.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, is that like, if you want to be like, oh, that wasn't good, and that's the only thing you're talking about, that's where it's wrong. Because to be like, yo, all this was good, but I would have rather having it longer to be that way. I could accept that argument, but as you said, there's some people who are like castrating like the writers and the directors and Favreau and everything. You're like, yo, like you guys loved us the first season because of a length of something. You're like, get out of here.
That's for me. It really came down. There's one particular person who went out of his way to call all the people associated to the show lazy and uninformed and all this stuff. And everyone in the chat was kind of just in the comment thread was kind of like, hey man, like, what are you talking about? And he's like trying to explain like all the lore to people, and people who know the lore are just like, yeah, we already know this, but there has to be a practical reason. And they even explained it. And he's just like, oh, that lame bullshit excuse. And he starts shitting on the excuse and stuff. And then I just ripped into him and I was just like, homie, if you got that big of a dick, go find all your lore-based friends, get your money together, buy Star Wars from Disney, and make the show better. If not, shut the up and sit your ass down.
Brian, I got a counter to that, and I actually have a solution for Tobi's not wanting to be a fan anymore. Okay. If you complain and you're super ridiculous, Disney and or whoever owns said franchise is allowed to ban you from watching it.
IP address is bad.
You can buy Disney Plus, you can buy all the workarounds, and it will straight up just have like your name, your IP address, something of you will flash. I'll be like,
you're blacklisted.
No, this needs a Black Mirror level sort of.
Yes.
Mom, let's make it happen. Whoever watches us, make it happen.
Black Mirror level extension event.
Yeah.
You're not wrong,
it's pretty dumb. Like the whole thing that makes The Mandalorian stand out over a lot of different movies in terms of Star Wars and actually feels like the original, it's because they went back to practicality.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, practical effects.
It shows like characters feel real. There's no Jar Jar situation going on here, right? So anyway, it's the dumbest, and I can't do it anymore. As soon as I watch something, I don't even want to read an article about it. I don't even want to see nothing. I just wish I could go on Facebook and go delete all interests. Just so I don't get fed these stupid people every day. It's crazy.
Yeah, and it really does suck that as fans we have to deal with that, because the gatekeeping approach to it makes it that other fans or other people who are potentially interested would not want to be a part of it. Yeah. And that's the part that sucks. Like Star Wars, MCU, all of that stuff has gotten bigger because it's been made more accessible to people. But then when you have someone like the comic book guy from The Simpsons just, yelling in the back of the room, as a fan, other people are just like, man, I don't want to hear this dude. I just want to watch that cute baby Yoda. Like, can I just watch cute baby Yoda? And you have to hear pimply nerd dude yelling, which they're not all pimply nerds, but based on Simpsons.
It's a tough conversation in the sense that I don't want people to feel like they can't like critique costumes or like, for example, Apocalypse, Age of Apocalypse. He looked disgustingly horrible. It was the worst costume ever. That's okay because overall, horrible portrayal. But if you're gonna start going like, yeah, I mean, he was great, but like his boots, come on, his boots were ugly. Like, why would it? And then that's your basis for your argument. But everything else was good. What is the point? Like, what is the point? Think to yourself. Does that make it worse of a viewing for you? The whole time you're watching, you're going, oh my god, her hair's not long enough. Like, what is it that's going on inside of your head to make you feel the need to create a big thing about it on social media?
There are some people out there that culture. Yeah.
Clout, attention.
Yeah.
No, it's sad because again, like if you were to do it on an equal scale. If you were to say, well, I didn't like her hair, but like, what did you like? And the person says, oh, I liked everything else. You shouldn't be on a pedestal.
Start with the positives.
Yeah,
that's all
exactly.
I want from social media now. Is just start with the positives, and then
Because
once you've listed all
clicks.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I said that doesn't give you the clicks, though, Toby. The hate gives you the clicks.
Of course.
Hate gives you the clicks.
Not to mention, there are some
join the dark side.
There are also some people who are just negative bastards out there.
Yeah.
Very true. Very.
Like they see no light whatsoever.
Oh, damn.
Because they don't leave their basement or their keyboards as the keyboard warriors do.
I wasn't going to go there, but yeah.
I'll go there.
You know, she did look exceptional in the role. And,
Oh my God,
it's
amazing.
Like,
exactly how, with the exception of the length of the hair, she looked exactly how
I hadn't
what hair? I seen Ahsoka twice, man. Like I seen Clone Wars all of like 3 times. I played a video game maybe once. Like
she's cool as a character. I was just excited to see like how that translates to this. And now it looks like she's going to be a pretty big part of the show going forward with the call out of Grand Admiral Thrawn.
Well, I'm hoping that's a planned spin-off. That's in my head. I'm like,
if you're gonna Ahsoka's own show.
Yeah, because if you're gonna name drop Thrawn like that, and from when you see the end of Rebels that they're hunting Thrawn, you're just like, okay, well, obviously that didn't end. We now see in the live action that Ahsoka's still there. Where's Sabrina? What's her name?
Oh my God, dude! They're transitioning characters out of animated shows to live action.
They officially made Clone Wars and Rebels.
Why is Disney so OP like this?
What do you mean, why?
Because they know what's smart. They have intelligent people at the helm. I don't want to have those basement keyboard warriors doing the job.
They got me. Well, they got my nephew.
You have an Ahsoka figure you just got?
I might get another Ahsoka figure, but
nah, she's badass. This one I approve.
This is for my nephew, so yeah, but
but her fighting style was very Batman-esque. Did you find?
Very.
Yeah. Well, did you guys see the comparison shots? Because it's based on Seven Samurais, right? Is that or?
Oh, well, the whole
there's like
thing,
people are showing that all the shots, like all of her fight scenes were based on like recreated shots from I think Seven Samurai. I didn't see which movie it was. I just saw the stills and I didn't recognize it. So the sense of like the hidden warrior or like the ninja samurai approach makes sense. So yeah, I could see that for like as a nod to Batman if ever there was a character.
Cool, man.
You know what?
Are we officially jumping into the review of this or?
Oh, go on. What'd you say?
We already started. Just keep going.
Okay.
Yeah, we're talking about it.
I said what I noticed about this episode is that there yet another reason for them to release a Mandalorian figure is because now they're going to release him with that goddamn staff.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is he gonna keep Is it gonna be a part of his arsenal like that, or is it just like a collectible to him?
But it's
because it belongs with the Mandalorian. You know what I mean?
I hope he melts it down.
It's gonna be the staff and with baby Grogu instead of Yoda. Like it's to advertise. It's all for the advertising.
No, it was the child before on the boxes.
Oh,
it was called the child. Not
did any of you guys get the Terminator reference though?
No.
The
guy who the guy who's the who fights Mando like in the gunfight. He's Reese from Terminator.
Oh yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah,
I didn't recognize him. I didn't recognize him at all. Yeah. But that's not a Terminator reference. That's just...
I mean Terminator eggshell.
Okay. Okay, that's cool. I didn't recognize him. He's old, man.
The only reason why I recognized him is because I thought he was somebody else. I researched it. I knew I was wrong, and then I saw Terminator. I'm like, oh no
way. He died.
Which character is Reese?
Reese is the guy who comes. He's the main hero in the first Terminator. He's the one who goes to get Sarah Connor and tell her your baby is the dad. Yeah.
Oh, okay. It was him. Holy shit, that dude did age. Completely unrecognizable. Holy shit.
He died at honorable. Actually, no, I was gonna say honorable death, but no, he didn't. He tried to sneak one on Mando.
I know, dude. The whole time I was watching the scene, I was just like, "Homie, just walk away. You don't. You have.
He would have let him go.
I know he would have done the honorable thing. I also love when Mando was just like when they hire him to go after Ahsoka, and it's just like he's just like, where is she? He doesn't say I'm taking it. He just asked where she was, and I like that there are loopholes in his head. Like, hey, I didn't take the deal. I'm not breaking my oath. I'm doing what I gotta do.
So true. He's not. He didnn't lie.
Nope,
he just kind of just.
He said,
it's just funny because usually he gets duped into lately he's been getting duped and backstabbed, and this time he's like just walking into town and everyone's feeding him the information. He's supposed to be the one.
Fun fact to that statement. I actually think he was getting duped and backstabbed a lot in the first season. And this season, it looks like he's learned from those mistakes, and he's actually not getting duped and stabbed. Because he's aware of like people having ulterior motives and not being as honorable as he is. Even past friends ended up turning on him in one of the episodes in the last season, right? So it's I think he's growing as a character and as a person, even though we still have it does such a good job of not giving us a backstory, but we know that there's some stuff in his past. It keeps your imagination going, and that's part of the charm of the first 3 episodes of Star Wars is that you met these characters where they were. You found out about their emotional well-being and their physical state where they were. But in terms of like how they got there, it was mentioned in conversation, little sprinkles here and there, and you're filling in the gaps yourself versus them feeding you everything. Which is what makes this so much more like, oh, you want to know what's next? Like, do we get a little piece more? Another little piece. Jon Favreau has done a fantastic job with this. And also, I want to say he doesn't get enough credit, but he started out this whole Avengers bullshit.
Yeah,
with Iron Man. Yeah. He legit, we need to give him more projects of this scale. He made to launch.
I just watched. I'm going to talk about it later, but I just watched Hollywood movies that made us, and he directed Elf, and I forgot he directed Elf.
Holiday
movie. I'm like, yo, Favreau directed Elf, then went on to do Iron Man, and is now doing easily one of the most popular shows on streaming platform. The man is talented.
We can't forget Chef.
Oh, I never watched
that. Mando's slowly becoming a big old softie, though.
Wait, who?
Mando.
Mando was always a softie.
Yeah, man, not in the first season.
It was a front. His heart, barrier was he uses the Mandalorian sort of name as a shield to protect him from all that hard shit.
Yeah,
internally you can tell he's a softie.
Dave, think about it this way. The entire show is based on the fact that he didn't want to let them kill the child. If he wasn't that's the ultimate.
Exactly.
Like, the show literally doesn't exist if he's not a softie.
That's true. It's becoming more and more apparent.
Well, yes. Okay, yeah, he's getting more protective. Do you guys think Grogu is going to turn to the dark side?
Yeah, I want it.
I want it.
I don't want 2 good Yodas. I want a bad one and a good one.
You can't do that. No.
Well, the way she said it too, when Ahsoka was like, "Oh, I can't train him. He's got too many." I was in his memories, and it starts out all light, but now it's mostly dark. And you're like, "Oh man, he's definitely." And then she's like, "What'd she say?" No, she said, "I can't train him. I've seen too many Jedis of like our greatest Jedi or some. I forget what the sentence was."
She said too many of our.
It was in reference to Anakin.
Masters turn to the dark side. But I think if anything, he might be the balance, like the gray Jedi or whatever they used to call that.
The gray Jedi.
Oh, okay,
there was a thing in lore. Initially, it was supposed to be Ahsoka, but like Ahsoka's been the one who's like the first one who like questioned why can't you be a little bit of both, and they gave the term like gray Jedi or something like that.
It's not as much.
That's what she is.
It's not as much a little bit of both. It's more the fact that like I don't think you should be either. Like she doesn't think you should be dark and light. She just thinks like don't be either. Just be yourself and be connected to the Force. And I was talking to one of my buddies, and he was saying to me, he's just like, I'd hope that that's where Luke was going in episode 8. Like when you see Luke and Luke's like,
I hope that's where Rey was going in the whole new ones.
Yeah, exactly.
Like from the first 2 episodes, you thought that's what it was, and then it became this.
Palpatine.
Don't do that. It's already doomed. You can't save it.
No, I know.
It's done.
It's done.
The show just destroys the whole movies in less than 2 seasons.
I could not watch them. Actually, you know what? Fine. I haven't seen the last Star Wars movie. But I'll
You
never
don't need
watch it.
I actually don't care. You don't need to.
Exactly. I'll never watch it. I'm just gonna watch this, and that's it.
It's kind of like the Hobbit, for example. Like,
oh god, yeah.
Nobody needs to watch the Hobbit.
Yeah.
It's a waste of real. They just wanted to recreate the magic of Lord of the Rings. And they, if you know just how small a book the Hobbit is,
that's
and they
true.
extended it to 3 movies, it's a lot of fluff.
What'd you do?
I just like the fact that you're like they wasted reels. It's like, damn, that's cool. It's like you had the option to like make a movie or throw it in the garbage, and they're like, it's one and the same at this point.
What do we use for fire? The Hobbit.
You know what? I get that sentiment because they're like, well, people are gonna hate it anyway, but they're gonna go see it, so we might as well just make it. So
true. They might throw some dollars at us. If it's in the trash can, we don't get any dollars.
Yeah.
I don't even think I saw the last one of that series.
You probably did and forgot. That's how forgettable it is.
No. I remember like visibly. Visibly remember seeing the desolate. It was the second one's called Desolation of Smog or whatever.
Oh, you're talking about the Hobbit.
Yeah, the Hobbit. I remember seeing like the dragging at the end, and like my first thought, like when it was over, I'm like, I mean, that's all I really came to see was the dragon. If I saw this much, I don't really need to watch the third.
It was like the unexpected journey. The first one is fine. It's acceptable because it's like, oh, what could this lead to? But then it just led to trash, like horrible trash. Mm. And if you wanted to see the dragon, you saw him at the end of the second. Yeah, you're right. So you need to see him at the end of the third.
You saw him like fight and everything. You're like, what are you going to do in the next one?
Was it the second one where he like destroyed the village?
Well, the in the second one, it's when you actually he's
guarding the gold coins.
He's guarding the gold coin. He's all underneath it, but he's chasing him in it, right? Like they do that whole scene, and then I'm like even in the book or the I actually remember watching it as an animated feature when I was younger. I was like, that to me was the cool part. I didn't really care when he got to the end. To me, that was the most entertaining part. So I'm like, I don't have any drive to continue.
It was not worth it.
You know how you knew the movie was bad? The fact that the biggest selling point when they brought in Smog was like, Benedict Cumberbatch is the voice of the dragon. And I was like,
oh yeah, that's so true.
Guys, you have to try and get people into the theater because the voice of the dragon is the most popular Sherlock of the moment. You got a problem. That's not
crazy.
Good sign.
I wonder how long, because I remember it was like back to back to back. It was like 2012, 2013, 2014. They put them all like out back to back, one after the other. Like, I wonder what that shooting. Apparently, they didn't even have scripts for a lot of the scenes. Jesus. They were making it up as they went. I was just listening to a podcast about this recently, and that was one of the things that came up. Funny enough, we're talking about this randomly. But they're like, they were like, if you really go look into like the DVDs or a lot of like the background footage of the Hobbit, like this is a recurring theme. Is that they didn't really have a script for a lot of it, and they were just kind of like, well, this is the shot. What do you think we should do with the shot? Kind of like just going with it as they went. I'm like, hey, you know what? If you can come out with three 3-hour-long movies,
oh my god,
on the fly like that, I guess that's a talent in some way.
Because they were just dicking around.
Yeah, it's great. Like, that's why a lot of it is them dicking around. You can tell. Right, a lot of it is them going on these random adventures, and you're just watching them in far off distances, and like far wide shots. Going to this place and going to that place, talking for a little bit, going to that place. It's just like it was a waste.
I gotta say though, like from the financial perspective, like I'm just thinking about the studio. If I was a studio, even if I knew we were gonna make like a couple $100 million off of this movie. Mm-hmm. I still want them to make it as cheap as possible so we can make even more. Because for every shot that they're taking and they're fucking around, I'm just like, yo, we're losing money. Could someone please just write them 10 lines for this 10, 15 seconds? Just do something and tell them to move on to the next shot. We can't have them standing in a field. Guys, can someone get a camera on the guy in the field? Over there, I would have been freaking out if people were just like, all right, so what do you think we should say in this scene? I'd be like, the script, bitch!
The script, bitch!
Right one. Yo, okay, so I'll read you a famous quote from I'll read you a famous quote where Peter Jackson, they asked him, so how was the Hobbit? Like, how was the experience of making the Hobbit? He says, I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
Oh my god! Like, dude,
he said he admits he was winging it and was making it up as I went along.
That's
crazy.
That's the writer though, as well as the director.
Dude, he told the studios when the studios were like, "Hey, we want to make more money off of this franchise. Is there something we can do in the same format as the last one?" Instead of like going, "Well, we can make a movie based on the Hobbit and this storyline." He's like, "I can stretch this out." It's like he got raw Coke and needed to stretch it out for his clientele, so he mixed it in with some baking soda. I mean, like he just decided to stretch the product for no reason.
Wow.
Made it up as he went, bro. That's crazy. Imagine that.
In defense,
how much pressure? How much did he age in that period of filming? That you're stressed.
But either he aged or he's such a like relaxed person. He's just like, yeah, bitches, I make money. And he's just like, whatever I put on this page is going to be okay. We just got a comment from Omar. I remember falling asleep during the first Hobbit because I was bored to death. I woke up 45 minutes later and the motherfuckers were still in the Shire and nothing had happened.
It's so true. In the defense of the movie, that's actually how the book is. The first 100 pages is literally them just jaw-jacking at Bilbo's house.
Okay, that's fine. But imagine that's the material you're basing a movie off of.
Oh, it's a horrible idea.
What?
They threw the source material. They're wasting time.
That is insane when you think about it.
Because Guillermo del Toro was supposed to produce it at first, right?
Oh, okay.
And he had a whole different direction, to go that he was going to go with it. And then he dropped out, and then what's it called? He had to leave. I forget for what reason. And then Peter Jackson took it over, but only had a year and a half to do it.
Jesus Christ!
Right? And what he was doing to design, like the design of the movie he had planned, was completely different to what Guillermo was doing. They're two different styles, right?
Yeah.
So
it's like lead in with Snyder for the Justice League, and we're seeing how that's working out. We're getting.
I just find you guys another quote. Hold on.
This is insane.
It was impossible. As a result of it being impossible, I just started shooting the movie with most of it not prepped at all.
Oh my god!
You're going onto a set and you're winging it. You've got these massively complicated scenes, no storyboards, and you're making it up there and then on the spot. I spent most of the Hobbit feeling like I was not on top of it, even from a script point of view. Dude, this guy is.
I would be so mad if I was the studio and afterwards found out that you didn't know what you were doing and I paid you so much money. Like I gave you millions of dollars to make this and you're telling me you sat there sometimes going, man, I wonder what we should do today. And didn't have a plan. Like
I would walk up and be like, so we have this thing in the contract, writer's fee? Where did that go?
Yeah, seriously. Like you're not getting paid for this part of it.
Yeah, they were getting scripts, just the scripts were trash. And to me, it's like if the scripts aren't good, that means you just need more time to develop it. But you know, PJ don't care. That's crazy, man. The movie's made $3 billion or $4 billion or something altogether.
Jax. Yeah, Peter Jackson is an insane person, and
he's crazy.
Has he done other than the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit?
What's that?
Has he done anything
outside this universe?
He's done God's King Kong.
I like this. Peter Jackson was probably reading The Hobbit as they shot the
movie. For sure. 100%. After
That's like how I feel about George R.R. Martin's. They're like asking him like, hey man, how does Game of Thrones end? He's just like, yeah, I have it. And he's like putting them on hold, like writing lines, being like, this is what I'll tell them. I'll tell them this is who ends up with the, here you go. And they're just like, really? Yeah. That's who we're giving the throne to. The little brother. Wait, what? Yeah. That makes the most sense to everybody. Dude, if I was the two guys that worked on Game of Thrones and I asked him, hey man, who's gonna end up with the throne? And he said, oh, the brother in the wheelchair, I would have been like, wait, I would put bass in my voice and say it like that because I'd be like, you put us all through this entire adventure and you're going to give it to the three-eyed raven kid who's been sitting under a fucking tree
doing nothing,
just seeing the history of the people under a tree and watching his friends die one after the other.
Yo, you know what? Yeah. I was probably okay with everything up until the final episode where he's like, I need to get to the tree. And this dude followed him to a tree where he did his wig out, eye up situation where his eyes go white, and this dude died. Like
Greyjoy just died.
What was the point?
And I think my favorite part about how he dies is like, you know what? I will give it to Theon and to the actor, Lily Allen's brother. I don't remember his name right now.
Barry Allen.
Alfie Allen. Barry Allen. It all comes back to DC. The Flashpoint, Game of Thrones. It's all
related. No. You DC nuts.
No, but for real though, like I just like the idea that Theon Greyjoy, like Theon did a good job, and
he had a redemption season.
Yeah, exactly. And the fact that he tells him right before he dies, it's just like, you are a good man. It's just like, you did some really horrible shit, but like you obviously redeemed yourself in the eyes of the family and stuff like that.
In the eyes of the Ravens.
Yeah, there you go. So I can see that.
All he had to do was get his dick chopped off.
Yeah. And jump out of a like tower and hope of surviving.
Yeah. Peter Jackson, Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, King Kong. Like I said, not much really. He's been executive producer or producer on a bunch of things.
Oh, okay.
But in terms of director, not really. Not a lot.
He's been basically milking the first Lord of the Rings since he made it. Got it.
He doesn't have to do anything. He doesn't have to work anymore. You know that, right?
Was Lord of the Rings his first movie?
No.
What were his like?
Because I think King Kong was his first, actually, before Lord of the Rings. No.
King Kong with what's his name? Jack Black came out at least after the first one.
Oh, I hate Jack Black.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, that was 2005. So actually, after the first three.
Can we not skip over that? Skinny, why do you hate Jack Black? Where
that was random.
Jack Black. I don't know. I like him in his roles, but like he should only be in like one movie. Like School of Rock was cool.
Yeah.
Like, his resurgence to Jumanji is all right because he's kind of quiet and he shuts the fuck up. But like,
no, what? That's the opposite of what he does in this movie.
You know what I mean? Like
but he's actually acting in this movie, and he's not himself really in this movie. That's what makes it different. But Jack Black is a lot of comedians have this prototypical thing about them, right?
Yeah,
it's either they can really, truly, really act, or they're always themselves, just in a different role.
Bong. Okay,
Kevin Hart.
Yeah, that's actually really important because I was talking about that with my partner this morning. The difference between typecast actors and like acting, like. Garrett Dillahunt is an actor that I talk about all the time with people. The homeboy from Sarah Connor Chronicles and Raising Hope, and then he went on to do Fear the Walking Dead. He's been in a whole bunch of other stuff. Garrett Dillahunt, Walton Goggins, those two are actors who have such a wide range that you can put them into different roles and they will kill every time. But then you have some of these kids that they put in these movies and these TV shows, and they literally play the same thing. And then you have people like Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey is that's a difference in some comedians. I find that some comedians are comedians and some are actors who are funny.
Yes.
And I feel like that's a big difference. Like Jim Carrey.
But there's also some people who are. I agree with that, but there's also some people who are typecast, but are also good actors. Like example, Vince Vaughn is a good actor, but he's way overshadowed by the fact that he's typecasted because his natural I assume it's his natural character because it's the same fucking thing in most movies. When you put him in the comedic role, it's always the same. But he's done good things like didn't he do
Freaky?
Yeah, I was gonna say the only thing I've heard he's been good in is Freaky. Everything else I've heard he's been Vince Vaughn. Like
everything else that's why I was excited for that movie.
I know that's why I'm excited. Sorry,
to get back Vince Vaughn, to answer you and to get back to why I dislike Jack Black.
Oh yeah, that's how this started.
Y'all just great stuff, yeah. But have y'all seen? Thank you, Jay Grizz.
Read it for people so that the listeners hear.
I hate him too. Don't worry, Skinny. His best work was Kung Fu Panda because we can't see him. I agree.
That's tough. That's tough. I love Jack Black though, man.
Have any of you seen The Holiday?
The Holiday, the movie.
Holiday?
Yeah, him, Cameron Diaz, chick from the homegirl from the Titanic, and somebody else.
Oh, where they swap houses?
Maybe, I'm not sure. He's a composer for like movies in the film, and like for somehow, in some weird, strange reason, he somehow I think it's Kate Winslet. Yeah, we're supposed to believe that Jack Black is hooking up with Kate Winslet or Cameron.
Hey, that's not so unbelievable, man. What are you trying to say?
What I'm trying to say is fuck Jack anyway.
Is this why you don't like him? Like you saw this movie when you were a kid and you're like,
no. The reason
it's too unrealistic.
My reason for not liking him is because this movie was well over long, and I just feel like anybody else could have been casted in this role, and I don't know why he was there.
Holy shit! 2 hours and a half runtime almost.
Thank you.
What kind of holiday movie is this long? Or rom-com is this long?
Thank you. It's really bad. Anyways, I don't. It's just something about Jack Black, and I don't think he's that funny. And I think his band is annoying, and I'm just not down.
His band is actually pretty good live.
See, exactly. Here you are saying I don't think his band is good, and you're gonna come with his band is actually pretty good live. No, they're not. I don't care, bro.
They are. I've seen them live. They're good.
I hate this dude. He needs to shut the fuck up. His career sucked. Like it's just full blown.
That's crazy. This is new Jack revelation. Black. All the times we've talked about Jack Black, you finally decide to let this out.
Yeah, because we've talked about Jack Black before, and you've never spoken up in this way about him. That's why
this is the therapy session for something had to go, and it was Jack Black.
I pick my battles. Also, Vince Vaughn is the perfect example of getting your homie in, and he just continued to do good.
Yes, facts.
Big facts.
Yeah.
Vince Vaughn got him in with swingers, and then Vince Vaughn just steady didn't fuck it up.
But I say Vince Vaughn also plays it back because Vaughn is the one that got Favreau the job on Elf. I just learned. Yeah. Because they were reaching out for directors and they couldn't figure out anybody. And then they were playing basketball or something. And Vaughn was just like, oh, you should hit up my boy Favreau. He just did this movie Made. Like he knows what's up. And they're just like, oh, okay. And they had the meeting with him. And then he like pitched them and they were just like, oh, yo, this dude gets it. And we didn't even tell him like what we wanted. And that's how he got Elf. So
that's homies, huh? That's homies.
Like, wow. That's Hollywood, baby. Like the whole thing is just handshakes. It's all handshakes.
But look at those two who came in together from like jump. Like, okay, you can talk about Ben Affleck and Matt Damon all you want, but like Favreau and Vince Vaughn are like swingers. They're like in from Jump, and like you always see them with each other, fucking with each other. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I like that.
Yeah, me too.
I can't name two other people who are like that other than Matt and
that's true. I mean, other than like the Rat Pack days. What is the modern day version of that friendship in Hollywood? The like Favreau and Vaughn, the Affleck and Damon, Jay and Silent Bob. I know it's not as big, but that's still like two homies that like are tight and just like. I mean, I guess this isn't the same, but I would say Dave and Darnell is a similar like. It's not about TV and movies, but like if Dave's doing it. He will bring Darnell along. Like he has Darnell's back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He'll support Darnell.
In the Marvel universe has that? Doesn't Chris Evans have someone that he always works with or something like that? Or
I can't think of anyone that like legit came up together. Like we're talking these two started out together, worked together, got famous together, and always had each other's back that way. You know what I mean? Like
this is the whole Seth Rogen crew.
Yeah.
Seth Rogen, that's the answer.
Judd Apatow, man, he's a connect.
Yeah,
true. That's true. That would be the modern day one.
And the Nolan clique.
The what clique?
Yeah, Nolan. True. Nolan runs a crew and like puts everyone. Wes Anderson,
homeboy who played Bane. Elliot Page. Elliot
Our
Page.
favorite British old man.
Right.
Yeah, Kane.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah, they're always in the same movie. Even. Shit, can't remember his name. Cowboy guy.
Tarantino and Rodriguez, maybe.
Yeah, Tarantino too.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I kind of miss that Hollywood like almost sidekick friend like team up.
Happy Madison.
Yeah.
Definitely,
Yeah. That's
definitely.
a crew. That's a crew. Yeah, because like you watch things like that. Like way back in the day, you had like Conan and Andy, for example, came up together. He made him his sidekick on the couch, like and then he was solo for a minute, but then brought him back when he started doing his own thing. Like I like that kind of old fashioned because that makes me just. I mean, I age myself when I say this, but I was also too young to even be watching it. But like Carson and Ed McMahon, like from what I remember being a kid, seeing those two and knowing like. This is his best friend. Like I don't know if they were actually best friends, but on TV, sitting on that couch on late night when I watched the Tonight Show the first time as a kid, and I stayed up that late to watch it, and I was just like, oh, okay, these guys are like friends, like genuine friends.
Mm-hmm.
And there are a bunch of these, but in terms of actual friends,
yeah, like what we mentioned, I don't know.
Well, I mean, they have to be actual friends to work with each other over and over again, though, at the end of the day.
Well, I would say it would be nice that they're actual friends, but sometimes your relationship is just so good, you might not necessarily be best friends, but you guys
that's true.
Together.
That's true.
Like when I think of Kevin Hart and Dwayne The Rock Johnson, I don't know if those guys are actually best friends, but I know their chemistry on screen works so well that multiple movies with these guys has done well for them.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but Dwayne's best friends with everybody.
True. I'm not hating on him, but yeah, he's one of those guys that like,
What is this? What is this?
Simon Pegg and Nick Frost with
yes,
with what's his name, Edgar Wright.
Yeah, but I mean, even just those two alone. But yes, add in Edgar Wright.
The most recent show,
Truth Seekers.
Truth Seekers. Yeah, I've seen a couple episodes of it.
Yeah, I didn't finish it.
It's not bad. It's good.
Yeah,
I like
not
it.
at all. And I didn't realize Simon Pegg was in it. I thought it was just Nick. And then I saw.
Same.
Yeah,
but he has a small. It looks like he's just supporting his friend's show.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm saying. Because Simon Pegg, out of the two of them, had the career that I would say popped off more. Like, ended up in Star Trek and doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
But Nick didn't do too bad for himself because that show that you talked about a couple months ago, the martial arts show, Homeboy, that's like an outlaw. What show?
I talked about this.
I thought it was Dave who talked about it. I could be wrong, but it was on Netflix. The dude's an outlaw. It's all martial art based. There's like different clans. Nick Frost plays. He plays one of the like weapons people. I'll look up the name because I can't remember. AMC. I know it's on AMC. Into
the Badlands.
Into the Badlands.
Yes.
Yeah, Into the Badlands. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, he's also done. I mean, he has that ghost show now as well, there, or Ghost Hunters, or whatever.
Truth Seekers.
That's
what we're
talking about. It's actually good. I would recommend it. It's pretty dry. Don't expect to laugh. Don't expect. It's like
some good laughs, though.
Some good laughs, but they're not forced. It's just part of an unveiling.
Yeah.
You know?
Did you get to the episode? Did you get to the episode where they do the hotel?
Yes, with the room.
Yeah, and then at the end, when he's just like, I met the caretaker. They're just like, what caretaker? And he's just like, what? And everyone freaks out, and they're like, oh, Norman. Yeah, Norman's fine.
He's right there. Yeah. That was good.
Like,
that was good.
That's really messed up to do
the
that.
whole time I was thinking it. So they played on they set us up for that. That was perfect.
It was really good. It was like, I liked how they set it up. It was impressive.
Yeah.
But yeah, Truth Seekers was a fun show. Yeah, I mean, we've already been talking about all the shows that we've been watching. Did you want to talk about Locke Key, Skinny? Because you read the comic book and now you actually wanted to.
Now I'm watching the show. It's a Danny's pick. We're on episode 4 of 10.
Did she get to read the comic too, or only you?
No. So we have two perspectives. We have straight just watching the show, which she likes it, and then we have me, nitpicky Nancy.
Yeah.
This is not fucking with nothing. I'm not happy with the casting. I'm not down with the casting. I just found out off of reading, there was already a pilot for Locke and Key in 2011.
Yes, the original pilot. Yeah, that they
didn't know about this.
They didn't get to make, which is
Jesse McCartney was playing the lead. Well, one of the lead characters. He's playing Tyler Locke. But anyways, the show breaks it down basically like the comic. You have the Locke family moving into Key House after their father is terribly murdered by this messed up kid, and the most of this season revolves around the first book, which I won't ruin it for anybody. But there's some changes. They take two side characters from the comic and they digivolve them into one character. So they basically took a British white dude and a black urban kid and just made him a black light-skinned British guy who plays as the love interest and best friend to the secondary star character Kinsey Locke. And then you have Jackson Robert Scott, who plays Bode Locke, but to me it's Bode because I read it as Bode. In the show, what do they call him? Bodie. See? Why do we? Anyways, so I'm being a purist. I think I give it a thumbs up for now.
You should watch the original pilot. I just sent you a link to it in our chat, and then you compare.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Should they have come up with the show? Yeah, you should. Should they have made this show, or should they have done this pilot that
yeah, you never often see shows get like two chances, like a pilot, and then it fails, and then like years later it comes up again. So I guess they're really pushing for it now that they have the technology. I like the effects. They did the effects well. Yeah, it's dope. It's so far it's good. I don't know. I'm super nitpicky because I read everything and I'm just like,
you know what I didn't like about when it came out?
What?
Is that The Haunting of Hill House was also out around the same time.
Yeah.
And there's just a lot of similarities in terms of like big mansion and the ghosts and just that whole situation. So I don't know if their rollout was exceptionally well done, or especially well done, I should say. But it was still a good show. I still didn't mind it. But I don't know if there was enough to keep me watching a second season.
Yeah. I gotta say though, I like that Netflix was just like, oh, we're gonna put the money into this though, because Netflix was just like, oh, they built that house. The house that's built. That wasn't just there. So it's stuff like that I'm just like, man, that's impressive that they go about it that way.
Netflix deal, shit.
Netflix is out here just throwing money around.
Yeah, I'll be like, I need this house built for my set. Yeah, please build it.
Crazy.
Oh, damn. The aunt from Sabrina's in it. Sorry, I'm already watching the link you sent me.
Wait till after the show, guys.
Oh, Jesse McCartney. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm skipping it.
Think 20, like early 2000s, late 2000s, like whoever's popular around that time. You probably see their face. Probably.
CW show, but it's Fox.
It's Fox.
Yeah,
Fox and CW at the time were synonymous.
I feel like I might have heard of the show, and I just kind of like, What was on in 2011?
Oh God, I don't even want to go down that road.
I was gonna say that. One Tree Hill, maybe.
Yeah, man. We've been blessed with so much.
What was that show about the other dimensions that was on Fox that everyone thought was gonna get canceled? Ended up being great.
Fringe was fire.
Was that Fringe era?
Fringe era. For sure. Yeah. That's Fringe era. That's Fringe. That's 24. Like Fox at that time had a little like jangle. Yeah, that's Bones. Probably. I think New Girl was at that time, like starting out too. They had a bunch of shows around that time.
Yeah, 2011, and this was when Fox finally stopped canceling shows after like. Remember when Fox used to be like 1 episode, 2, cancel it, pull the plug. It's like, yo, you filmed 8 episodes. It's okay, we don't care. It's like,
was that Mutants show with what's his name's brother? The Arrow's brother.
People of Tomorrow.
Tomorrow People. Was that around the same time too?
No, that's later. But yeah,
it was still. I actually didn't mind that.
I liked it.
Me too.
I enjoyed it. I was very disappointed when it got canceled.
They canceled it on a cliffhanger, which is I hate when they do that shit.
The uncle was just starting to Yeah.
Dude, I was like watching that show being like, could they do what Heroes never did? Because Heroes got screwed. And it was like, this show might have a chance to like kind of step it up on Heroes. And then they got the uncle gets the powers and then they canceled the show. And I was like, God damn. Fringe was a good show. Like the way, do you guys remember how they ended Fringe too?
Man,
the other world.
Yeah, dude. And they start real, and then you realize that he stole his son from the other world.
Yes.
And you're like, "No, what is wrong with you, dude?"
And that's Oh man, I remember now.
That was good.
That was a good show. And then their daughter or something came into play at some point in the future, or some other dimension. Yeah. Oh, dude. Yeah, this show was fantastic.
Yeah, Fringe was
it got canceled for a short period, and then it came back to finish it up, right? Something like that.
I don't think it officially got canceled, but it was one of those like Fox things of like, oh, we're gonna make it a mid-season replacement, and okay, let's just try and because I think it had a large enough fandom that they knew if they just finished it off, people would be okay, fine. At least we got to finish it.
They wanted to tie it up. That's why the last season or so felt rushed.
Yes.
They jumped ahead, like we said, and tried to like close it all up. But dang,
doesn't everybody get stuck in amber at some like? There's so weird.
There's a dimension, or whether it's in a dimension or a future, I forget now because it's been so long. But like in more reality, where people are getting stuck in this weird orange amber.
And they someone out, man.
Yeah.
Sorry, Skinny, you're.
No, I'm good. I just like that you guys are like reminiscing about this stuff. I just like to say, like, I'm happy that now that we only have like really streaming services and cable doesn't really exist, like straight up RIP to the mid-season, mid-show, whatever. Like, you guys are idiots. You're just killing shows by doing that. So I'm happy that we're done with that.
Wait, EJ, you didn't watch? Sorry, I just got a comment here. Fringe was a show that I wish I got to watch. I got a chance to watch. What do you mean? You wish you didn't watch it at the time.
I mean,
it still holds up today. Matter of fact, a lot of shows today are stealing from Fringe hard.
I would say go watch it. I would say you still have a chance, man. It's out there. Like X-Files, it's out there.
One last thing, real quick. I kind of got into Animaniacs, the new season. I like it.
Me too. Okay, I would have just talked about it the whole time, but that shit is amazing.
It is pretty cool. One callback I love how they explain that why they got rid of all the other characters.
Yes,
that shit killed me. Like, I'm like, first of all, because if you watch Animaniacs, I personally, whenever Chicken Boo came on, I was like, fuck this episode. I don't want to watch it. Like, it was always the most boring, weird shit that you're like, okay. And then there was like a weird song. You're like, oh, he's not a human. He's a chicken boo. Like, okay. So the fact that they did that major callback to that, and then they had everyone return at the end of it, made me happy. I'm kind of satisfied. Animaniacs season 1.
Wait, which one is that? Was that the dumb-looking chicken?
Yes.
Oh.
Who for some reason human suits, and you're like, what is happening?
But he could talk when he was in the human suit, but then when he would find out he was a chicken, he would just like fall apart, be like, and then you're
like, and you're like, what is happening? But then, dude, the whole episode that they set up, it was so well done. Like, I didn't realize who it was, and when they revealed, I was like, wow, like applause. Like, because you know how we always talk about how TV shows don't write anything original. This wasn't original, but I didn't see the curve coming, and I respect that. Because if you're not going to write original, but you can still curveball me, that's cool. I'm okay with that. So the fact that a 7 or 8 minute cartoon figured out how to do it, I was just like, well done.
That's hilarious.
Oh my God. Is it the whole season's out or just a few episodes?
13 episodes, first season. Yeah.
Oh my God, I gotta watch. I didn't realize it was out.
Oh man, I forgot to write down what I actually wanted to talk about today. I think I'm gonna drop one of my movies and talk about this.
Okay, just a quick like thumbs up, thumbs down. I decided to press play on Jingle Jangle.
Yeah, cool.
It's been in my face for the past few days, and then I was like, well, it is snowing today, which is yesterday. I might as well put this on and watch it. And honestly, I thought it was going to be a regular, Netflix around October, November, even September. They're churning out all these weird holiday movies. They're all like B movies sort of along that line. So when I saw this and I saw like Forrest Whitaker, everyone else I actually didn't know. And I knew, Peel. No, Key. Yeah. Keegan-Michael Key.
And Felicia Rashad.
Oh, yeah.
You're right. But she's a narrator. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It was better than I expected, but I wasn't expecting a musical.
That pause was telling though. You're just like, it was
Yeah, I don't want to trash it because I know around this time of year we have very little to watch a lot of the times, and it's just like, you know, there's a mood in a season, so maybe it's not the time yet. But I think like mid-December, if you have a family of kids, they probably would love this. It's very Annie like in like
cool.
There's like a his granddaughter, Forrest Whitaker plays an inventor in this. And they kind of tell you his story as, you know, growing up and why he ended up in the situation he's in where he's lost everything, which I won't give away because that's the majority of the movie. But then his granddaughter comes into the picture and she has the same gifts as he does. Same as like his daughter had the gift, but something happened. He lost connection with his daughter, but now her kid has the gift too. But the granddaughter created a scenario where she sent a letter to the granddad, and then she sent the letter from the granddad to the mom to make it seem like they both want to talk to each other, so that the granddaughter, could go visit the grandfather.
Cute. Okay.
Yeah. You know, so it's kind of a cute little story, and then she has her moment where she becomes like sort of the main focus of the movie. It kind of starts out with him being the focus, but then she becomes the focus. It's just kind of cool. Okay. The money spent on the animation, super well done. There's some characters in this that are animated, and it's like it looks amazing. I would recommend it. It's a thumbs up. Fun little fireplace with the family. Kind of watch. If you don't have a fireplace, pretend you do. Just put a blanket on, grab your hot cocoa, and watch it.
Pretend you do.
I was going to talk about. You know what? I'll still talk about it because I'll do it super quick. Happiest Season, thumbs up. It's a fun movie. All the actors do a great job in it, and I would watch it again. It's one of those movies that like I could put it into my holiday rotation and be happy with watching it. I was really team Ribby, which is Riley and Abby. I was really hoping that would be a thing. It did not. That's okay, but I shipped it. But yeah, I mean, if you guys are looking for a fun like holiday movie, it's just a LGBTQ holiday movie. So it's the same tropes, but LGBTQ based. Everything
Kristen Stewart and Mackenzie Davis.
Yeah. Okay. As I was watching the movie, I was looking at it thinking, oh, this is essentially if it was like you brought home the black boyfriend and you didn't want them to know that the boyfriend was like who your boyfriend was. So you'd say, oh, my friend's parents died and he doesn't have, which is true. The character's parents had passed away. So she was alone. That's why I'm not trying to make it sound like they're using it as an excuse to sneak the black boyfriend out. But it is, yeah. Like, oh, my partner's parents passed away and they don't have anyone to spend the holidays with. Would it be okay if they spent the holidays with us? And all the insanity that ensues from that. And that's what the movie is. And it was fun. I liked it. So, you know, Kristen Stewart does her usual greatness. Because remember when she first started, everyone said she had no emotions. And then you realize it's not that she doesn't have any emotion. It's that she was doing movies she didn't want to do.
Yes, exactly.
Like when you realize that she was doing movies that she didn't want to do, like when you realize that Patterson and Stewart did Twilight and both regret doing that movie, you get a sense that like, oh, they're good actors. They just didn't want to be in those movies.
Yeah, but there's one thing to say exactly, Skinny. You can say you didn't want to be in all you want, but they showed you numbers and they showed you a check, and you're like, all right, I'll do it.
Yeah,
I think if you agree to sign a contract and do something, don't phone it in. Just give it your best. And you could tell they weren't giving their best.
Exactly.
That's the thing. They signed the contract. They're back to last week's episode.
Yeah, well, that's like the one.
I see it.
I respect it. A week later, that's like he like waited for that ball to come. You know, they
waited a week.
Yeah.
That's so.
You know when you used to play basketball in high school and there was a kid on your team that just stood underneath the fucking basket throughout the whole game? And then
he finally gets one, and everybody notices because he never scores.
Shit, man. Oh wait, we got a holiday question here from Lee J. Here's do you guys watch one or all 5 of the Home Alone movies as soon as it's December?
Oh, 5.
I watched 1 and 2.
I watched 2.
I watched 1, 2, and 3 recently.
3 doesn't exist.
I never saw 3 is actually good. I'm not going to hate on 3. I'm not gonna hate on 3
because let alone 4 and 5. Hold on, yeah. I only watched 2, by the way. I barely watched 1. I only watched 2. That's my favorite one.
Yeah, so Home Alone 1, we all know the classic story. Home Alone 2, the New York one.
In New York.
Yeah. Home Alone 3 is about another kid. It's a completely different story. I read up on it a little bit. They wanted to do another one with Macaulay Culkin, but he had stopped acting by the time they got like their shit together. Because he'd been like, because you know the stories with the McCulkins, right? Like the parents were like totally taking advantage of those kids. Yeah, they were like,
it's the same story as the what are those Backstreet Boys? Nick and his brother.
Yeah.
Oh,
same story.
Carter.
Yeah. It's like the story from the kid from Home Alone, Home Improvement. The youngest brother.
Oh,
the youngest brother. Which
youngest brother is the one that married. He like joined a cult and married a like much older woman or something. Shout out to him, man. He lives in. You find yourself an older woman when you're like 20 something, and she knows what's up.
Home Alone 3, 4. What is this crap?
Home Alone 4 is actually a sequel to Home Alone 2 because Home Alone 3 is not a continuation of the Kevin McAllister story, but Home Alone 4 is a continuation of the Kevin McAllister story. The parents break up, the dad is getting remarried, and that's what the story is about.
Yeah. I'm literally reviewing these right now.
We're always shocked here.
I don't know what Home Alone 5 is about, though. That's the only one I haven't read.
Home Alone 5 is not called Home Alone 5. It's Home Alone ... The Holiday Heist.
Oh, that's stupid.
And literally in Home Alone 4 on the poster and Home Alone 5 and Home Alone 1, they're all doing this same face on the
Yeah.
What?
But so the crazy part is like French Stewart from Third Rock from the Sun is not playing Joe Pesci's character. He's playing Dan Stern's character, Marv.
What the fuck?
Yeah, like
but he's dressed like Joe Pesci's character.
Exactly. Everyone said like, wait, why is he dressed like Pesci's character if he's supposed to be Stern's character? No one understands why they made the decisions they made, but that's what it is.
Yeah, okay. So no, Home Alone doesn't exist after the second. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. Thanks, DJ, for putting us on to a horrible discussion.
Why'd you do that?
Wait, hold on.
No, there has to be a mistake on IMDb.
You know what?
Johansson was in the third one.
Scarlett Johansson is in the third one. She plays the older sister. She's but she's like 12 or 13, man.
Don't do that. What? You're nasty. you nasty.
I don't think Dave knew what year it was, so he was just like, "Cool, Scarlett."
Okay.
No, I'm surprised she was in the movie. Period.
It's like 1996 or 5 or.
My shock face is because I didn't think she'd be in this movie.
Playing with you
again. She was like a kid. Like she definitely was starting out her career. Like
it was also a big franchise. So I mean, at that point, the third one coming out and the second one doing so well, you'd want to be part of it.
And it was released in theaters. The third one did get a theatrical release, which at that point, when you're like 12, 13, getting a theatrical release and all you're doing is playing a bit role character, sure, toss me the check. Yeah,
they just went overboard with the story on the third one, it seems.
Yeah, the third one is like Koreans, like the North
terrorist group.
Terrorists, and it's kind of stupid how they set it up. But you know, you got that like classic Kevin McAllister type insanity of like he put the trampoline over the pool and did all this crazy shit. Like he had a remote control car with a camera that he drove into a house through the doggy door. Like.
Okay, I lied. I kind of remember this.
Yeah,
like
it's not.
Now that I'm looking at images and the kid's face, especially, I'm like, oh, okay. I kind of remember these scenes a little.
The kid from that movie is also the kid that I think went on to do the Max Keebler movies.
Yes, it is. It is
Max Keebler.
Yeah, this like kind of like rambunctious kid, like kind of a Dennis the Menace, but updated for the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
You know how they were doing. They were just
it's Max Keeble.
Sorry, Keeble. Yeah.
I actually didn't realize Catherine O'Hara is in Schitt's Creek. Oh fuck.
Yeah, that's her.
Oh yeah.
Damn.
She aged? Is that what you're trying to say?
I'm not gonna say that. I'm just saying. Why?
You went, damn.
You didn't really cover your tracks there, you know.
It was a little bit telling, homie.
Just a little bit. Okay, so Jay Grizz asked me if I watched this show called Spell, and I did. After his recommendation, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, or this movie,
okay.
it's so you know the guy who plays Ghost in 50 Cent's show. What's the show called again? Power.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the main actor in this, and it's about like him and his family going back to his dad's place in like some rural Appalachia, which I'm assuming is like some
show or a movie.
It's a movie.
Oh, got you.
And they go back to this town. In this town, apparently there's a lot of voodoo. Like he grew up apparently around a lot of voodoo. It's like a horror movie. It's supposed to be anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, it falls short though. I find of like what it's trying to accomplish. I get it. It's almost like he goes back to town and the town won't let him leave. They want to use his essence and take his perform this ritual.
Okay.
It's kind of like Get Out in that sense. Like he can't leave the town, but it just ends up
tied to like a strong bloodline of that's related to voodoo. Like
he apparently like ignored his voodoo roots, right? So him coming back to this town, not believing, is why his family got trapped in this situation to begin with. But like how, like, okay, so he's first of all, he's a pilot. So whenever they go on vacation, he flies his family around in a plane. They go to the town. They fly into this town. Right away, someone comes to their plane and just starts acting weird. And first of all, as the kid who does not know anyone in this town, and some random kid from the town comes up to you and asks you, "That's a fancy phone you have there. Can I see it?"
Fuck no.
Why do you? So those are it's one of those movies where they just make stupid decisions.
I hate that shit.
Yeah, dude.
I hate that.
No, it's like, come on, man. Come on.
I hate that. Dude, I had that shit happen to me in real life once. This old man asked me if he could borrow my phone. I was just like, nah, homie, I can't. I'll dial the number for you.
And I'll put it on speaker and hold it while you speak to this person.
And he started yelling at me, and I was just like, then fuck you, man. And I took my phone and left. And then he got off the bus after he ranted at me about respecting your elders. And I was just like, I ain't going to respect somebody who starts yelling at me because I'm not giving you my... You want to buy me a new phone? No, get out of here.
Accidentally drop it, the screen crash. You're like,
and now what? Now I'm supposed to hold you to this? Like, yeah.
Thank you. That was exactly my point.
Stop it.
But anyway, this movie, he flies a plane into the mountains during a storm. They got held up in a storm. They stopped for gas. They're about to fly back straight into the town, and they got held up in a storm. Plane crashes. Wakes up the next day. He's by himself in an attic, being tended to. So he wakes up in someone's attic. His family's missing. Doesn't know what just happened. That's like there are interesting things here. It was just poorly executed. But who's the other actress in this that tries her hardest? Loretta Devine.
Oh, okay.
She tries really hard to sell you on like she's this evil voodoo woman, and really like, you know, she's a great actor. It's just like the story. I didn't care if he lived or died. Like that's what it came down to. I wasn't tied in. They didn't give me enough as a main character for me to believe that he's really looking for his family and really worried for his family. He doesn't have that sense of urgency. Anyway, to answer your question, Jay Grizz, that's a no for me, dog. I shouldn't have watched it. I fell asleep a couple times watching it. So.
Oh my god,
that's no recommend.
I watched another movie that came out a while ago called Captive State. I don't know if you guys saw it. It's I've alien
seen a bit of it at first and like stopped watching.
Interesting. Okay, because all the reviews said it's not a good movie, and I watched it. I watched it, and I was just like, this actually isn't that bad. Like.
But see, that's the problem.
What?
From what I saw from the trailers and what it was sold at, and for it to be not that bad was not good.
Well, the thing is, I think everyone expected. Like, did you guys ever watch the show Fallen Skies with Homeboy from ER? Yeah, Noah Wiley, I think. Yeah, Noah Wiley. So I watched that show, and this movie is similar to that show, but is set up in a way that they're trying to pull one over on the aliens to get them to show to get a surgence of the people in the world to be like, oh, we can stand up against the oppressors instead of just placating and accepting the situation. And when I watched the movie, I was just like, okay, I mean, I'll be honest. There's one character in the movie, the guy who's supposed to be the star. I actually don't find him to be that appealing as a star. I would have rather they focused on all the other moving parts, because they use him as the person that connects the moving parts so that by the end you're just like, oh, that's what was going on. But I actually kind of wanted to see the moving parts more. The moving parts were super interesting. The way everyone was running the network, the way they figured out Jonathan Majors is in the film, homeboy from Lovecraft Country. And
Does he play his brother?
He plays the brother. He does an amazing job. All the scene where they get into the stadium and they pop shit off and you're just like, yo, this is getting real. The scene at the bus station was amazing, but all the scenes I found the most interesting and the best were John Goodman and Jonathan Majors, and had nothing to do with the guy starring in the film. Like the guy starring in the film, I was almost like, you guys could have cut this to make him a secondary character and made it an ensemble cast with the other people of the network.
I lost interest pretty quickly. I'm not gonna lie. I actually was expecting like a movie version of V. Do you remember V?
Yeah,
that's what I expected.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, Machine Gun Kelly, not good.
Okay. Now that we're on the topic, I was actually gonna bring up his name when you said the parts that were good. I was gonna say Machine Gun Kelly's parts, but
no.
Has he been in any movie that you've seen recently? Because he's been in quite a few now. Yeah. That you think he did a good job in? We're talking Bird.
I know. Yeah.
What's that? Blind movie.
Bird Box.
Bird Box.
We're talking
blind movie.
Wait, Colson Baker. That's his full name, right? His real name. Let me see.
He did Bird Box. He did some movie where he's in the military or something. I feel like he's a soldier. Oh no, Bird Box is the one where he's. Which is the one where he's like a soldier? Isn't there a movie where he's a soldier that's like on leave or something? I don't know. I could be mistaking him for someone else.
Let me pull this up.
All these guys look the same. Even if it's Machine Gun Kelly, if he's playing a role that could have been done by someone else, it's like, okay, you're not really impressing me right now. Because that's the thing. Machine Gun Kelly should be doing roles that are more impressive. In Power and the Bird Box, I'm like, cool. And in this one, Captive State, I watched it and I was just like, nope. I have no interest in you in this movie.
Oh, you know what?
Which one?
The Motley Crue one.
Yeah, I didn't watch that.
But that's like okay. Yeah, you already are partying, touring artist. This is a stretch from what you normally would do anyway.
I forgot.
It's called Dirt or something. The Dirt. Yeah.
I never watched that one.
It's okay.
I haven't seen him do. He hasn't been in a role. First of all, he hasn't been in a movie the whole way through. He literally dies in every movie I've seen him in. Every movie he disappears or dies, and it's like, okay. Like when I feel like if you are somewhat of a big star or an artist, can't you get them to give you a full movie? Like,
Project Power. That's what I was trying to remember.
Yeah,
with Jamie Foxx.
I said Power, but yeah, Project Power.
Okay, that's it. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, that's Project Power, Bird Box, the Motley Crue one that I didn't see, Captive State. He hasn't done anything impressive. In Captive State, I was actually like, I can't wait till you die. You're like watching the movie and he's like, the homeboy's like, hey man, why do you have a gun? You're gonna get us in trouble. And he's just like, yeah man, like it's we can trade and blah, blah. And like it's one of those things of like just pure privilege where like it's just this thing of pure privilege where this white boy even in an alien world is just like, I'm white, I can do anything I want. And the black kid is like, no, you can't. A gun will get us in trouble. Stop being stupid. And that's how I felt watching that scene. Like, oh man.
Speaking of MGK, his latest album is pop punk now.
Oh,
He switched lanes. Eminem destroyed him so much so that no one takes him seriously as a rapper anymore.
Put the pink and doing like, but it's like the worst part. It's not bad.
I can see that. He's always done stuff like this, right? He just decided to fully send after that whole Eminem debacle.
I was just like, wow, you pinked us, boy. You really just came out like straight rapping, and now you're
wow. That's deep. I mean, at least he waited years. Pink
years to see
Pink
like,
did a 180 after like one season.
Yeah, to see him come from laced up to like, come on, nah, bro, come on.
Yeah. That's funny.
Eminem killed you, but I mean, it's Eminem, so
yeah. You also said Coulson had won that battle somehow.
Yeah,
so.
I thought he did. I felt it that he did.
The fact that he switched entire genres tells you he lost.
Well, he doesn't believe in himself, but I did. And now he can't be. He's wearing pink dresses and shit. Oh no!
I love it. I love that it's just like, man, he changed full on genres. He obviously did not win.
Oh, where have you seen that? Have you ever seen someone get beat so bad that you just leave?
Oh man!
You ever see like an actor or like? When have you seen like a sports player get beat so bad that he switched whole like?
Yeah, I've seen players retire because they took a beating, but not actually switch sports. Yeah,
Nate Robinson, after Jake Paul beat him, probably is never gonna play any sport again.
Oh my gosh, that's so bad. Oh, you know what? I mean, this is the person right there. She did. She did.
Oh, yeah. Was just like, oh, I'm gonna go to the W. Yeah,
I'm gonna. You know this real stuff where you actually hit me for real in the face. I don't like that. I'm gonna switch to the fake stuff.
This nigga left. He's like, you know what, hip hop? Sorry, I'm a big punk music now. The punk kids have never heard of him, so they're real. Oh, they have, but they're really gonna be like, oh, MGK. He can totally like remarket it. Just go to like 10-year-olds coming up now, and that's
that's it.
Yeah.
He's good. If he just stays in this lane, he's gonna make money. But he, apparently, Mike said Mike K, our buddy here, said he worked with Blink 182 on this.
Oh wow, look at you with research. All right, Mikey, good job.
Example of Michael Jordan switching back to basketball.
But that was debunked. That was debunked in a documentary, though. He was actually doing pretty well in baseball.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, he started out terribly, and I think he started doing well, but he started doing well, yeah.
And then he went back to practice with them, and then he was just
then he got suckered back in. Yeah.
It's just like, I guess I'll win us a championship again.
Or 3, bro. You know.
You're talking shit to the other players and yelling at them. You can't do that on no baseball field.
True, they will hit you back. Like, you're not a star here.
Yeah, but also like their opposite thing, their box is like far from yours. You have to like really be trying to get after them to be yelling across the way.
But in practice, what are you gonna be like outfield screaming out like the cat?
That's why he really went back. He missed trash talking.
He was talking shit. Longley, pick it up, Longley.
Yeah,
pick it up.
Oh my God. I think that's all the shows, guys. That's all the shows that we had, and then we were
holiday movies that made us. I actually was curious about that because I wanted to. It just came out today or yesterday, no?
It's only 2 episodes, and it's Elf and Nightmare Before Christmas, and it's good.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
Yeah, if it was more episodes, I probably would have talked about it more in depth. But
they came out with the next show. I'm down.
The first 3 episodes of We Are the Champions. Have you seen this pop up on your Netflix?
Champions. Oh, yeah. The wheel down the hill. The peppers. What's the other one? The hair. Broner Brothers.
Oh yes. Those are the first 3 are the only like good, interesting, and it's about all these competitions. The last 2 are terrible. I didn't like them.
Oh damn it! I was excited for Yo-Yo.
Wait, after the first 3, Yo-Yo kind of like is a little let down.
Damn, because I used to Yo-Yo a lot as a kid, and I actually
bro.
I used to know how to do some of the tricks.
Y'all remember Yo-Yo balls?
No.
Which one's Yo-Yo balls?
You don't remember the Yo-Yo ball? That was basically like a ball that had like a retractable string, so basically you couldn't lose.
No.
Like a fixated yo-yo that like you could not yo-yo this yo-yo.
I remember like actually doing it and rocking the
Yeah.
cradle, and, you know.
Yeah, but then like it would never like get stuck and like
that defeats the purpose of a yo-yo. But yeah, like
I had an AstroJax which was a Dutch. I'm sure most people do not know it. It was a Dutch version of like the yo-yo where it was 3 balls, 2 tethered on either side, and 1 in the middle is on a string, and you could do tricks with it. Like, I'd have to show you guys because I still have.
I just Googled it.
Yeah.
Did you find it?
Yeah. This is a mix of what Skinny was talking about and your yo-yo, but with 3 of them.
Yes.
That's so weird.
With AstroJax, you could actually do pretty interesting tricks, which was fun.
This look like some bolas, man.
But it was a Swedish toy, and I got it at whatchamacallit. Yeah, that's it. And I used to. Oh, yeah, that's the one I have. The scroll down, the one on the right with the clear balls that light up.
Right here.
Yeah, that one. If you guys are listening to this, just look up AstroJax. There was a version of it with that was clear and you could light it up. And dude, it was actually really fun because what you would do is you do tricks with the AstroJax, and when the balls were lit at different intervals, it would look like strobe lights or solid like streams of light. So you could do cool tricks based on how you had it lit because they had 3 different flashes. Like it had one that was solid.
This looks so dumb.
Honestly,
what do you do with this?
When I went to the toy store and I was just like, what is this? And the guy's just like, I don't know. It's some Swedish thing.
Look at this kid pretending he's having a good time over here.
But it was I gotta tell you, I know it seems silly, but it was actually weirdly interesting because one of the tricks was called the AstroJax juggle, where you had to, like, as you were doing the trick with it, you had to let go as the ball was falling and catch the next one from the momentum. And it was hard to do. But when I finally learned to do that one, I was fucking flipping out. Like, I was so excited that I figured out how to do some of those tricks.
You're like one of the kids that had a chemistry set and enjoyed it, huh?
No, I had the engineering set and enjoyed it.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's like the kids who where are those those baton things that you kept hitting so that the second one.
Yo,
it's like the kids who actually learned something else other than just doing this.
The double stick?
Yeah, essentially. Like see, so I don't know if he's gonna do the juggle. Again, this is not great for the audio listeners, but what maybe we could put this in the description.
What kind of sorcery is this?
What is it? What is he doing?
He's trying hard not to hit himself in the face.
You how not to do it. So okay, let's get this because this is not great for audio. If you guys are,
it is 2 balls connected by wires, and you try not to hit yourself.
Guys, let's go to the Geeknews.
I'm gonna stop this.
Brian's like, abort.
If you're listening to the podcast, this makes absolutely no sense right now.
Just cue the music, bro. Just cue the music. Abort.
That is so good. I could just imagine showing up to school. Hey guys, look at me.
Oscars is so dumb.
Oh man,
the Oscars have decided that when they do the show in April, people will be going in person as opposed to via Zoom. So essentially, they want to kill Hollywood. I don't really understand. I mean, I would like to know that the vaccines are going to be in full effect and people will be okay by April, but I'm not trusting that everyone's going to get the vaccine, and I don't think it's going to be safe for them to do an in-person Oscars. But the Oscars supposedly are just like, we're moving forward. This is going to be happening in April.
Only actual winners will be there. All like the people who just arrived to like.
Oh, true. Yeah, they'll just invite people who won. It's just like, yes, you're invited, and you're invited, and it's like, wait, but like, what about the other 5 people nominated in this category? They're not invited.
They're calling it from Zoom.
yeah. So that's the part that's going to be kind of rude.
But usually they have like seat fillers, right? So maybe it'll be half the amount of people with all the.
Yeah, true. I mean, they definitely would need to do it like a movie theater with a like solid division and gap because. I mean, again, they're talking about the vaccine. The UK just approved the vaccine. They're the first place in the world that's approved it. They're telling people that they might be able to get people vaccinated by the end of the month, starting of next month. That's pretty crazy for me. So I guess, I mean, we all eyes on the UK. Let's see what happens because those guys are the pigs right now, man. I mean,
I'm happy 28 days later happens and they start.
That's actually where it started. No.
Yo, you know what though? At least the UK is an island. Like, shut down the channel and see what happens.
That's a lot of people, Brian. That's a lot of people, Brian.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell my cousin to get out early before shit hits.
Wow, imagine that shit.
Yeah, I got family there too. My mom's whole or all her siblings are in London.
Yeah. We might have to start sending some emails out and be like, hey, maybe take a boat and leave just when the vaccine starts. Just get a little distance. Because even the show iZombie starts out with like a vaccine that gets into the wrong thing and they mix it with that drink, and next thing you know, everyone's getting all screwed up. Anyways,
always.
So we'll see. David Prowse from Star Wars, the actor behind Darth Vader, behind the mask, not the voice, passed away at age 85. So we pay respects to him. R.I.P. It's quite sad. I mean,
at least he was part of the good Star Wars.
Yeah, he gets that. People have been posting the pictures of the original cast all standing together, and like
the knockoff. Yeah,
and they're like but not like crossing them out. They're like force ghosting all the ones who passed, and like Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford are on the end still alive, and I'm like, that's a little dark. That's a little. Dark. I'm like watching it. I'm just like, well, that's weird. Also, quick question: did these people not fuck with C-3PO? Because he's not in any of these pictures. I don't know if anyone realized that. But every picture that they show the cast back in the day, C-3PO is never in any of the pictures with them. Anthony Daniels, not invited. And I thought that was weird. I don't know. You guys, honestly.
I mean, because I guess you would have really like, it's tough when you're behind a mask the whole time.
But if you're gonna,
but I guess Darth Vader was too.
Darth Vader's there, and R2D2 and Chewbacca, and those guys are all in the pictures. But C-3PO is not invited, and I was like, when I realized C-3PO is not invited, I was just like, no, that's a little weird. Why is C-3PO not invited?
He was too good at being annoying.
Hey guys, can I be in the picture this time? No. After this one, after you take this one, we'll do it. I promise. Yeah. Never did.
Yeah, but so I mean, I just thought it was funny when I realized that, because every time I see these pictures now, I'm just like, hey, yo, where's Anthony Daniels? Like, why does this dude not in anything? David Ramsey's to direct return as John Diggle and mystery character in the CW. Oh, actually, in the CW's Arrowverse.
Too late. Too late.
He's supposed to play.
Why is he returning as Diggle and a mysterious character?
Because he's being I don't know. Tomorrow show, the Heroes of Tomorrow, Legends of what that show. I don't know.
Is this is Green Lantern bullshit?
Probably.
God, please. CW.
Maybe they'll spin off Black Lightning into his Black Lightning's ex-wife was actually Diggle's sister, Stuart, so on, Bongo, Green Lantern.
No one cares.
No one cares, but I'm writing it for them because they clearly need help.
CW, just cancel your universe, please.
No, you don't have any shows after that.
Just cancel it. We don't care anymore. You don't know what you're doing.
Too many bad things have happened. Just take it out in the back and shoot it back in the head.
Old Miller.
Mel must be so pissed that they fucked up his shit like a year out.
I preferred his character on Dexter to what the hell happened on Arrowverse and all this shit. I wasn't a big fan of Diggle.
Oh, it really happens.
What?
No? Doesn't he only sleep with Dexter's sister or whatever?
Oh yeah,
that's a great role compared to the whole Diggle.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
That's cold.
Dexter's sister was wild annoying, man.
But she was a little more calm when she was dating him on the show.
I need to remember this.
He was the only guy that could really like slow her down. Yeah.
Yeah, because he was the bodyguard there too, no?
Yes.
The only other place I've ever seen him. Oh, sorry. What'd you say, Skinny?
What season was this with him being Dexter's sister?
Two or
Season
three?
2.
I don't
Season
remember.
2 into 3, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. The only other show I ever saw him on was Girlfriends, where he plays a dad, and Tony Childs and him are dating, and I was just like, "Oh, this is very random."
That's weird. That's really random. Yeah, on Dexter, he was pretty okay. I think he plays a character called Biggs or Biggles, kind of similar to Diggs, something like that. And what is it? I don't know. Someone look it up.
Oh, wait a minute. No, hold on. I don't think that's the same person.
It is, man.
It is, bro. It is.
He's just younger or more in shape.
Yeah.
He's more in shape in Dexter than he is on Arrow.
What's the character? Okay, what's his real name? Hold on.
David Ramsey.
David Ramsey. Yeah.
Let me find this nigga David Ramsey.
But I'll move on real quick while you're looking at that. Umbrella Academy cast GLAAD and more voice support for Elliot Page. So Elliot Page came out as trans and is going to be continuing on Umbrella Academy as far as we know. I know there's been some backlash. Some people are saying that they need to recast. My position is as long as Elliot is down to play Vanya, I don't care. It matters none to me what Elliot does in their life outside of the role.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's
For
a tough
me-
one.
For me, at the end of the day, my one thing with everything that television is no actor should be bigger than the role they play, and an actor should not direct the evolution of a character. That's my only thing. I don't want characters on TV shows to be the an avatar for what someone's going through in their real life. I don't find that interesting. If I wanted to know your real life, I would follow your social media, and that would be your real life.
I see what you're saying. Don't write this into the story kind of situation.
Yeah, I accept representation. It's just that I don't want that to become the main focus of the story. It's the same way that I can easily explain. I don't want Idris Elba to play James Bond. I don't want a black Bond.
Here's the thing about not writing a character. That's why I said it's tough, because Vanya is queer, right? Yeah. And Elliot, character was also before this identified as queer.
Yeah, right? And still identifies as queer.
And still 100%.
Yeah.
But that was what that already broke the fourth wall in terms of actor and character.
Yes, which I didn't like, but I was just like, whatever. If you want to do that, that's fine. Again, I agree with you that I don't think they need to continuously break the fourth wall and connect the same way that when you're writing a character, for example, if a woman is pregnant and you write that into the show because the person's pregnant and you want to keep filming the show, you're not writing because the character needs to have a kid. You're writing because the actor is pregnant and you want to have a kid. I don't agree with that.
100%.
The way Seinfeld did it, where Elaine was just shot from the mid-framed or behind stuff for a full season. It might be weird, but at the end of the day, Elaine didn't need a kid, but Julia Louis-Dreyfus was pregnant.
I think New Girl did the same thing, where they just filmed her behind different things, and then when it was really too obvious, she just left the show for a few months while the actor sort of picked up the slack, and she was away in a different part of town, and she would make calls once in a while and connect with them. Which, I agree. There's got to be more creative ways to do things like this.
So that's why, for me, at the end of the day, I look forward to what Elliot wants to do with the character, but I would like to see Vanya stay as Vanya. And, because already there's a lot of leaking of Elliot's life into this character. And I don't necessarily love when an actor's life is bleeding into a character's role. And I know some people like that because they feel like, oh, well, you get more out of the character. Yeah, but I mean, someone also wrote this character, and a good actor can still bring a lot to a character without bringing their personal lives.
That's so,
That's the point, though, as an actor or actress, right? The point is that you play the role.
But that's where the line. That's why I said this is a much deeper conversation than the surface level stuff, because the whole representation thing, right?
Yeah.
If the character is written as black, you can't just give the role to a white person or Indian person. Well, you can, but you need to have representation in some way, shape, or form.
But that's why I'm saying, that's why my example always falls back to Bond. Everyone was saying, make Idris Elba James Bond. No, make Idris Elba another black spy in the same universe and spin off movies. You don't need to make a white character black for representation. I actually
100%.
hate when they do that. We've been saying that diversity that they've been doing, where you start just changing characters over for the sake of diversity. I always hated it because it doesn't feel genuine. I don't want them represented that way. Do you think then, in all fairness, should all gay characters be played by a gay person? No.
Okay.
Because again, I think the actor, like that was my thing. Like actors can play anything. And I think one of the issues in the industry is the fact that trans actors never get cis roles. A trans actor is only ever given a trans role, and that's problematic. And that's where it leads to situations like this where, you know, you're constantly arguing over who should play. If you're a good actor and you can play the role, trans, cis, that's okay. When it comes to race, that's a very different thing. Television is a visual medium. You can see if you cast in the life of Dave, you cast skinny. I can tell you decided to do diversity and cast skinny in the life and times of Dave and the uprising of Squared Idea as it takes over the world. That's
all we're asking is for you to actually pick another story of someone else of a color or whatever else and actually tell that story versus telling Dave's story.
Exactly.
Or if you're gonna tell Dave's story, then make sure the next one is telling this story and not just like an unfair side of Dave. Sorry, I'm keep bringing Dave back into this.
No, but that's it. If you're going to tell the story of Dave in the life and times of Squared Idea, and most of the crew in that crew are white guys, well, then also include the side story where he did a podcast with 3 black guys.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to only tell the story of Dave and Squared Idea, because I would say part of Dave's existence. Sorry, Dave. I know you are now the hypothetical character in this story.
All right.
The life of Dave.
The life of Dave.
All right.
But in the
world.
But in the hypothetical existence of Dave, telling the story of Squared Idea and ignoring some of the other things that he did in his life would be a weird way to tell the story. I mean, Dave, if I'm not mistaken, I've been to your party. Some of your friends are LGBTQ. Some of your friends are people of color. Like, you have a diverse cast of people. If this was a movie around you. So just tell the story as it is. But Hollywood doesn't do that. Hollywood often just tells the white version of a story. And that's the part that bothers me and pisses me off. So,
and the whitewashing of black characters or any other characters, stuff like that. Yeah.
So, I mean, we'll see what happens with Umbrella Academy. I'm looking forward to it. Elliot has done amazing stuff. I loved Elliot when they were in Inception. I've loved Elliot in all the other stuff. So I look forward to seeing how they hopefully not adapt too much, but if they choose to adapt, I'm willing to see it, but it's not what I'm hoping for.
I don't want to see Vanya turn into Vance.
Yeah, that personally.
The director actually already said that they're gonna keep it. That they're more than competent with his ability to just play the role as is. Like,
because Elliot played straight the first season, right? Wasn't Elliot dating?
First season she didn't.
I mean, sorry, Vanya.
Sorry, he did not polarize to.
Vanya was dating a guy in the first
season. It's true. Wait, I forgot. Yeah, because that's the whole reason why the thing happened.
Here's one of the things. It wasn't that Vanya was playing straight. Vanya just wasn't identified. Like, Vanya was like, we didn't know, right? That's one of the things that, like, and that's one of the things we have to unlearn. Like, I saw Deku from the collective Basic Bullshit say, like, I need to unlearn some of my behaviors. This is one of those situations where I actively have to try and remember, because I made the same mistake when I spoke to my partner last night, and I said, well, you know, Elliot played the character straight season 1, and my partner was just like, you don't know that Vanya was straight. And I was just like, facts. I don't know that Vanya's straight. I don't know what Vanya's sexual orientation was. And I now move forward thinking, like, I should do my best to not assume. But we are literally products of programming, though. So, I mean, if you spend 37 years of your life with being shown one identity and one understanding, it is obviously not the easiest thing to switch. But hey, we're all trying. And then, guys, we'll end it off with this one last thing. This is a sad one. Shout out to Proto Man. He was the first person that posted this that I saw. RIP to Pat Patterson, Montreal born and raised, first international champ, creator of the Royal Rumble, and the first openly gay wrestler of his generation. He passed away today. Did he pass away today, Dave?
I think it was in the last 24 hours at age 79.
Yeah. So RIP to him. A Montrealer that I definitely did not know.
Ville Marie
Patterson on my 18th birthday. He was riding down St. Catharines in his convertible, and he waved at us, and that was like really dope because
that's fucking cool.
Anybody who likes wrestling, you kind of know that like low key, the Intercontinental Championship is better than the WWE title.
Yeah,
okay,
because it actually means some shit. So
better stories are told with that title than anything else, and more stars who were real stars who never got the World Championship at least had that.
Right. So.
I'm not gonna lie though, but the whole like Gerald Briscoe, Pat Patterson era of Raw and Attitude era when they came back, you guys remember that?
Yeah. They were the Stooges there.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really like that.
They did that because they knew that they were done. They were just adding to the product. It's just like he won last year. He won a title for like a day.
Yeah. But he was old, man.
Oh no, he's super. I mean, he was 78.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But like a lot of people, The Rock claims to be says that that's actually his mentor.
Oh shit,
Pat Patterson.
And the reason why The Rock got into WWE is because of Pat Patterson.
Huh?
Wasn't his dad a wrestler?
It
I was
was.
gonna say.
He was training from Pat Patterson, and Pat Patterson's the guy who literally called Vince and said, "Bring this guy."
Oh
He's
snap!
the phone call that said, "Whatever you want to say about," because like don't get me wrong, The Rock's has a great heritage of wrestlers, but like just because your dad was a wrestler doesn't mean that you're going to per se be a good wrestler. But he was like, this guy is gold. You have to bring him.
He vouched for him essentially.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's never mentioned that until the person died. Give them their roses while they're still here, man.
Yeah, that's yeah. I guess that's more the conversation to Kevin Hart. Maybe maybe they ain't best friends.
Damn.
Wait, who was it that we joked about saying that like maybe this person actually isn't a nice guy? Oh, one of the Chris's. That's it. When everyone was defending.
Oh, right.
And Skinny was just like, you know what? If anything, maybe he's just not actually a nice guy. They're all having. They all know he's not a nice guy. There you go, Rock. Maybe you're
Which
not.
Chris was it? Pratt?
Yeah, Pratt.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Evans. Evans is too nice. Even I don't know him, and I could tell he's too nice.
Yeah, from
Lots
Boston.
of stories that his brother tells him when they were kids.
That's true. That's true.
As I was saying, Evans is from Boston, so you know there's something.
Oh, not everyone's Mark Wahlberg, Skinny.
But everyone's from
Oh
Boston.
boy, I'm gonna just.
You know what? He did date a woman that calls symbiote, so maybe you're right.
Poor Jenny. She will never live that down.
Never.
The hell, Jenny. Jenny Slate.
Yeah.
Like her legacy it will always be the woman who mispronounced symbiote.
She just
Symbiote.
had to watch one episode of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Just one episode of Spider-Man.
I feel like someone should have been like, when she said it that way, they should have been like, have you never watched the cartoon? What's wrong?
That's the thing, is how does that get past anyone who's been a part of how does that get past anyone?
I don't know.
If
Yeah,
I
it's
was
crazy.
on that set, even as a water boy or coffee guy, I'd be fired for yelling at them.
I feel like was it maybe like an inside joke? Like is it like when Tom Hardy was talking to her, he was like, "Yeah, symbiote."
I just love the fact, like Skinny's story of like a kid's bringing like the assistant director of coffee and hears like symbiote and goes, "Hey yo, it's symbiote."
I would have done this. I would have done the same. It would have hit me to my core as I was walking past with that coffee. Like, what just happened?
Should that be the title? Hey yo, it's symbiote.
That's like when I hear motherfuckers say Thanos. I'm just like,
no. Yeah. So I won't lie though. I did used to say Thanos years ago. Fucking Thanos. I know. I did used to say that. But but I learned quickly, and I wasn't on TV or in a movie, so
yeah, exactly. Film is going to be seen by millions of people. Okay, guys, we got to wrap it up. This has been another fun one. Anything you guys want to tell people?
Stay active, man.
Yeah.
As soon as there's sun, just go stand out in the sun for 5 minutes.
Don't forget, you can always subscribe to our channel. You guys are potentially watching it right now. If you're listening to the podcast, just make sure to click on over to bit.ly. So it's bit.ly/fam YouTube. And that's us. That's us. We're on YouTube. So check us out. Subscribe. We're our next goal, our next threshold is to get to 200. We're at 115. So go out there, tell your friends to subscribe. That's it, guys. That's the whole show. We out. We'll be back next week with another one. Peace, y'all.